Android has always been the best operating system if you want freedom of choice. There are heaps of great options from tons of OEMs, but sometimes that just makes it harder to choose the best Android phone. We can't promise that the decision will be easy. No two phones are exactly alike, but that's why we love this operating system. Each manufacturer is developing its own hardware and version of Android, so it's all about what you value in a device. Now, let's get into our best Android phone picks for 2022. For years, Motorola's G series handsets topped our list of the best affordable phones, but its 2021 lineup fell short of expectations, while competing models from Samsung and TCL caught up. The first entry in the company's 2022 lineup, the Moto G Power, sets Motorola back on track. The Moto G Power is a handful at 6.6 by 3.0 by 0.4 inches and 7.2 ounces. It distributes its weight well across its plastic chassis, however. Additionally, the phone's textured matte black back feels good in the hand, helps with grip, and doesn't show off fingerprints or scratches. A flat, 6.5-inch LCD offers the same 1600 by 720 resolution as the 2021 Moto G Power, albeit with a faster 90 Hz refresh rate. A small cutout for the 8MP selfie camera sits near the top of the display, in the center. 720p resolution is the biggest letdown here. Although the screen displays accurate colors, you can notice some pixelation when you look closely. The phone's durability is on par with other similarly priced models. Its plastic back and chassis are likely to handle a drop without much damage, but we can't say the same for its strengthened glass panel. An IP52 rating means it should handle rain, splashes, and sweat without a problem, but likely won't survive a drop in the pool or sink. OnePlus has been leading the battery charge for years, bringing speedy warp charging to flagship and mid-range models alike. Now, the OnePlus 10 Pro takes things a step further. You can either tap into 80 watts or 65 watts wired charging with 50 watts wireless speeds to boot. The OnePlus 10 Pro doesn't offer the largest battery around, but 5000 mAh is no slouch. However, it's actually a pair of 2500 mAh cells that can charge simultaneously. It should get you back on your feet in no time to enjoy the rest of the flagship setup. Did we mention that you even get a charging brick in the box? It's a true rarity these days. While the battery is the star of the show, the rest of the OnePlus 10 Pro is pretty good, too. The 48MP and 50MP rear lenses can cover most scenarios, while the 8MP telephoto adds 3.3x optical zoom to the mix. It also offers a speedy Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset to keep you moving and up to 12GB of RAM with 256GB of storage. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold3 repeats the formula of the Galaxy Z Fold2. If you look at the raw numbers, the Z Fold3 is very slightly smaller, thinner, and lighter, but in real-life use, the difference is negligible. The camera on the back has gotten a redesign. It feels less bulky than last year's model. That's not to say it doesn't protrude with its own camera hump, but it looks better and more elegant to my eyes. The back of the phone is covered in matte glass, which feels great and looks sleek. There's a narrow screen on the outside, a 2268 by 832 pixel display with a 6.2-inch diagonal but an aspect ratio of 2.73 to 1. It's a brilliant AMOLED panel that's colorful, bright, and sharp. And now, it also supports a 120 Hz refresh rate. Too bad the shell screen is so thin, it's pretty tough, and even annoying, to thumb type on it. Of course, you will probably be using the main screen of your Z Fold 3 more often than the one on the shell. The main screen has a 7.6-inch diagonal and an almost square aspect ratio with a resolution of 2208 by 1768 pixels. Its overall screen area is about half of an iPad Pro 11 screen. In other words, it looks, feels, and functions as a mini tablet. It's a new type of Super AMOLED panel. Samsung calls this one Eco 2 OLED. Essentially, it's brighter and more energy efficient than before. One very big first debuting alongside with the Z Fold 3 is its water resistance. Yes, a foldable phone that's not afraid of a little water is definitely something noteworthy. Have in mind that the phone is merely IPX8 rated, which means that it's water resistant, but not dust resistant. The Google Pixel 6 Pro is the company's most ambitious smartphone to date, and a major improvement over last year's Pixel 5. You won't mistake the Pixel 6 Pro for any other smartphone. With a design that toes a fine line between elegant and offbeat, it's refreshing to see Google step away from the generic glass sandwich we've come to expect. A 6.7-inch LTPO OLED display dominates the front of the phone. The bezel-less panel sports an adaptive refresh rate between 10 Hz and 120 Hz. Its resolution comes in at 3120 by 1440 pixels, which equates to a super crisp 512 pixels per inch. Viewing angles are solid, and it's easy to see the phone in direct sunlight. A glossy aluminum chassis sits between the display and curved back. The left and top edges are bare, while the right side houses a power button, a SIM card slot, and a volume rocker. Instead of the textured buttons found on most other phones, Google goes with a matte finish. The buttons look more attractive and are easier to press, with a satisfying click. The bottom is home to a USB-C charging port and dual speaker grills. With a Gorilla Glass Victus display and back, the Pixel 6 Pro should easily withstand the minor drops and dings that accompany daily life. And with an IP68 rating, you don't need to fret over a splash or drop in the tub. The Pixel 6 Pro packs a 5003 mAh battery. With moderate daily use, you can easily get 2 days between charges. Samsung's Galaxy S22 Plus is a crowd pleaser. It has reliable reception, a bright screen, solid cameras, and good battery life. Samsung sells 2 versions of the S22 Plus in the US. Each offers 8GB of RAM, but you can choose between 128GB or 256GB of storage. The design of last year's Galaxy S21 Plus was disappointing for a $1,000 phone. Thankfully, the Galaxy S22 Plus feels much more premium. The back material has a silky matte feel and seems more resistant to scratches than the even more matte coating on the S22 Ultra. Like all the other models in the current Galaxy lineup, the S22 Plus carries an IP68 rating for dust and water resistance. And like the S22, the S22 Plus is available in black, green, pink, or white. At approximately 6.19 by 2.98 by 0.29 inches and 6.91 ounces, the Galaxy S22 Plus is shorter and lighter than the S21 Plus and thus easier to handle. A slight change in aspect ratio means that last year's 6.7-inch screen is now a 6.6-inch one, but both sport the same 2340 by 1080 pixel resolution. The screen on the S22 Plus is brighter than the one on the S21 Plus, and just as bright as the S22 Ultra. With a peak brightness of 1750 nits, the panel is easy to see outdoors. It refreshes dynamically between 48 Hz and 120 Hz, but you can lock it to 60 Hz if you prefer. The S22 Ultra is the only model in the lineup with a Quad HD screen. The S22 Plus uses a full HD++ panel like the S22. The Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus blends top-notch connectivity and performance with the best mix of features and size for the price, making it the flagship Android phone to beat.